Again, YouTube, nut job with a machete here. So, special request from the Karambit Kid, this one's on you, was to review the Masalong Pterosaur. And I'm not saying Pterosaur, because that's not how you fucking say it. So Masalong actually sent me this, along with another one of theirs, for free. I had bought 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 of their Karambits to review and stuff like that, and so they sent me a couple extra as a thank you, and so that I can review them. Unfortunately, Masalong is no longer selling on Amazon.ca, which is really sad, so I'm going to have to contact them and make an arrangement to purchase some more stuff from them, because that's the neighbor's kids. Because this generation, the one that just came out for this year, beautiful, love them. Anyways, Pterosaur. Got it in black, because I kind of like that a little bit better. Cheated and got the spec sheet, because why not? So it actually says right on the blade Masalong and D2, and it is indeed D2 steel. So the whole kit and caboodle with the sheath is 8 inches. The knife itself is 7.3, so without the sheath, obviously. Little ring bits. 3.5 inches, 9 centimeters. And I did actually measure that, and that one is correct. And the handle, which from this point to the very end is 4.1. And the handle material is G10. So, how is it? Well, I tested it out on some pork shoulder, and it rips right through that. I do have the footage, I'll show it to you. It is pretty comfortable in the hand. There is an issue with the knife design itself, but we'll get to that in a second. Now, nice big blade with transition, and then this is sort of hollow ground. It's got a little bit of a belly, or a grinding to it, but it's actually not like your traditional hollow ground like a razor. Good thick spine where they took off just enough to decrease the weight and to make the penetration really nice on it. Normally I don't particularly care whether or not mine has like little embellishments like this, but of course it really does add to that pterosaur look. And if you're holding it upright, you have jimping here, which is actually comfortable on the thumb, which is nice, because sometimes when you get straight jimping just like this, it can be very sharp, and it can actually catch. Holding it the proper way using the G10 handle scales, which are textured rather nicely, is actually really comfortable. The one issue with the knife is you can see that the fingering is rather tight. That is almost, that's all the way back, and it's still quite a ways back from my finger, which is fine, because that's roughly where I like my Karambits to sit. But yeah, it's really tight. If you have extra large hands, or if you have like carpenter's hands, or you know, the meaty style, it's not going to fit. In fact, it doesn't actually fit on my finger when I've got gloves on. So even my tack gloves, which are nice and thin, they don't fit. So that's one drawback. That's one thing to know. The sheath, taco style Kydex, which has the standard belt loop that they give you, which has that little lock at the bottom. Good molding. Now the reason they threw that in is because when this sits in, you can see right there, it needs the extra clearance. You could actually sandwich it down a little bit, but as you can see, it needs all that on the interior. Solid click, no rattle, good retention. You know, it's a good sheath. It's a really good sheath. This one is set up for left hand, so it actually sits on my left hand side. My piece of paper I was going to test just went down that way, so I'm going to have to grab it. But I'm not wearing a belt, and I can't get far enough back because I'm trying to stay out of the sun to get my belt. Now, I'll show you the sharpness test. Caught my paper. Sheath in the pocket. I don't really need to do more, but right. D2 steel takes and keeps an insanely fine edge, which is really nice. And yeah, the usefulness of it is actually pretty good. These little, I don't know what you really want to call it, but it's kind of like jimping on the ring. Does allow for good control, so you can stop it, draw it across, flip it back easily, which is really nice. Sometimes, you know, rings will have a spike or something like that, so that you can strike with it, but I find that that gets in the way when you're trying to reverse it. So yeah, there is that. Holding it this way, one thing to be careful about is, you know, my finger sits really close to it, so this one I actually don't like holding overhand. I do like holding it traditional karambit style. Yeah. Well, I know you guys are waiting for the meat test, so let's go to that. Come back for final thoughts. Holy shit. So yeah, not the best footage, sorry, but the 2 cameras I actually had set up, and then my phone camera, the footage from this one is the only one that actually survived the meltdown of my laptop, and as you can hear, the kids are still around. But yeah, final thoughts. The Pterosaur is really nice. Because it's a D2 steel, it is a little bit more expensive than some of their other ones, but when I checked on Amazon.com, like I said, you can't get this from .ca. It's only available through .com, so if you have American friends, you know, have them send it to you as a gift. But it's well worth the price that they ask. So yeah, it's actually a really good karambit, and you know, the karambit kid, I really wanted to see this, so you know, thanks for requesting it, and yeah, that's about it. Thanks so much for watching this video. You know, as always, you know, if you like videos like this, feel free to click like, feel free to subscribe for more videos in the future, and as always, feel free to share this video as much as you want. And yeah, oh, and I know there's going to be someone who asks where I got this shirt. T-Turtle. My friendly crow just swung by. Hey, little one.